Hello, guys. Welcome. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Today I'm drinking coffee, not tea. I generally don't like coffee. I generally like tea, but today I'm drinking coffee. So, hey, it's story time. And I'm officially dressed because today, as the title suggests, I'm going to tell you how I began teaching English. And from childhood, did I want to teach English? Was this my childhood dream? Do I enjoy teaching English? Will I teach English in the future? I don't know, 10 years from now. I don't know. In this story, as I tell you the story, before I begin the story, I tell these stories because sometimes it helps me think through things. So, for example, the question of, will I teach English in the future? Well, I'm still thinking through that. And, how did I begin teaching English? Let's begin right away. Get yourself a cup of coffee. This is going to be a long story. So, from childhood, we're going to begin from there. From childhood, many of us, or I personally, wanted to be a lawyer. I don't know. Right now, if given the opportunity, I don't think I would want to be a lawyer. But from childhood, I always wanted to be a lawyer. And every time I got into trouble, and my dad tried to question or ask why I did what I did, I would argue my case very well to an extent that I think he lost. I will say he lost. And every time he lost, this was his statement. Oh, I always forget. You want to be a lawyer. I guess you will be a lawyer. And from childhood, I really thought I was going to become a lawyer. And in my country, if you want to, for example, become a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, etc., generally there are subjects you must take. They're going to be separate from an engineer. Of course, I think it's the same in Turkey too, or in other countries. So the subjects I took all were driving me to become a lawyer. And arguing and everything was just in my system, I would say. So, fast forward, after my high school, my dad always told me, you're gonna go abroad and study. So, fast forward, I come to Turkey, and I'm in engineering. That's another story for another day. From lawyer, wanting to become a lawyer, to an engineer, to computer engineer. I studied computer engineering, and right now I'm teaching English. Will I do that in the future? We shall see. So I come to Turkey, I begin university, and during the holiday, I was just watching movies from one series to another, and I thought, why don't I find a job? So I went and started living with a group of people that were from my country. These people were working, they came here to work. So I was like, I think I also need a job, and I tried to work. That didn't go very well. That's another story for another time. If you want to know about my first job and how the experience was and everything, just let me know in the comments section. I'll tell you about it. And so, anyways, I quit that job, and I just stayed home, continued watching movies. And then while I was there, some woman came from Uganda, and she wanted to work. So when she came, she didn't have a job. And that was my first year in Turkey. And I think I knew, let's say, 2% of Turkish, if I could measure it, because I couldn't hold a conversation in Turkish. I didn't trust my Turkish, even if some people trusted it. Anyways, So this woman, she came and she was looking for a job. I said, I know some Turkish, I'll help you look for a job. So I started, I got onto a website, it was called Yeni Asır. I don't know if you know that website, but the website was called Yeni Asır. Yeni Asır had all kinds of jobs. From engineers to people that clean, wash dishes, to everything. And they had different, let's say, they could pay daily, weekly, such stuff, freelancing, all of that. So I was like, yeah, I know a magic website, I'll help you find a job. So I got onto the website and I started checking out jobs, making phone calls with my little Turkish. So I would call them like, "Alo, merhaba, iş arıyoruz," something like that. And they were asking the same question. Can you speak Turkish? Can she speak Turkish? Because I told them I was helping a friend and they were asking, can she speak Turkish? They could tell I couldn't speak Turkish too because my sentences were a lot worse than they are right now. So I would be like, no, she doesn't speak Turkish. And I'd be like, sorry, if she spoke Turkish, we would give her the job. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you. And alo, merhaba, günlük kaç olacak, iş kaçta başlar, something like that. Later on, we called different jobs from one job to another, and while I was looking, I saw somewhere like teaching English. I thought, wait a second, all these people need you to at least know Turkish, but this job is teaching English, so you don't need to know Turkish. So I thought. So I suggested to my friend, like, you could begin teaching English, and she said, no, I don't think I want to teach English. And I was like, okay, let's keep looking. So we kept looking, and finally, we found a job for her, and she began working. And then I thought, wait a second, why don't you try out the teaching? I mean, you can speak English. And they didn't need much, they just needed a CV. So I was like, well, I got out my CV, I sent my CV to the email address, and I relaxed, no pressure. And then 1 week, 2 days, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there was no reply. I even forgot about it. And our school started, the summer holiday of course ended, and I totally forgot about it. And school started, and while I think a few days after the school started, I received an email. They were like, oh, we received your CV and we would like to meet with you. And I was like, wait a second, they finally replied, amazing. So I called my mom, I was excited, and I said, Mom, I'm gonna start, Mom, I have a job interview. And she says, that's amazing, what's the job? And I said, teaching English, and she was like, you are very shy. How exactly are you gonna stand in front of so many people and teach? And I was like, yeah. It finally settled in my brain, like, wait a second, yeah, there is that bit. How am I gonna be able to do this? So I was like, anyways, we shall cross that bridge when we come to it. So what I did was prepared myself, clothes, watched a few videos on how to do job interviews and stuff like that. And then I went for the job interview. And I got the job. So after I got the job, I began teaching and began teaching and began teaching and began teaching and began teaching. And students used to ask, is that verb 2 or verb 3? And I was like, what? Verb 2 or verb 3? I was guessing. And then I was like, what the heck is the verb 2 and verb 3? I started researching about these things. Because I could speak English, but the way we learned English is different from the way English is taught in Turkey. I think in Turkey you guys begin with the mechanics of the language, which is very difficult, my friends. It's very difficult. So I got into the mechanics of the language because we learned in a different way. So I got into the verb 2 and verb 3, learning of that. And after some time, the teachers I was working with started giving me positive feedback. They were saying, your students like us. Like, oh, really? Okay. Are they benefiting from what I'm doing? They're like, yeah, they're learning a lot. Oh, okay, this is good. And then I was working part-time from one place to another. And then I finally got a job offer to work full-time, and I was asked, do you have a teaching certificate? And I was like, yeah, I do. I didn't by then. I didn't, but I needed a job. So I started working on the teaching certificate. I would work full-time in that job and go back home and work on that teaching certificate. I worked and worked and worked really hard. I swear, why do people love coffee? I thought coffee is supposed to amp your energy. I drank coffee and I am feeling horrible. I don't know if this video is even working out. Anyways, let's continue sipping the coffee. Anyways, so wow, why do people drink coffee? I just feel horrible. Anyways, what happened next? My brain is even sleeping because of the coffee. Maybe I bought some bad coffee. What kind of coffee do you guys drink? Anyways, what was I talking? Yeah. And then finally I finished, and my boss was asking, how is that that teaching diploma going? I'm like, I finished the course, but it's still being sent because the course I took is from Canada. So I had to wait for a couple of weeks to a month for the certificate to come. So finally, I finished the course. I took the exams. I passed the exams, and I received the certificate. And wow, coffee is horrible. Did I just buy horrible coffee? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I started teaching, and I tried to work as a computer engineer because I told you I studied computer engineering. I tried to work as a computer engineer, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed teaching. And I'm an introvert, but I thought working on computers would be exciting, energetic, giving me all the magic during the day. But teaching gives me that magic during the day. When I'm working with students, for example, I begin with a student and they are struggling and they don't believe they can maybe do what they want to do, or they want to, for example, pass an exam, or they want to just speak, or they're going for a job interview. And we begin, and then they start to develop confidence in themselves, and then they start to speak, and they maybe go for a job interview and get the job, and they're excited, and they're like, thank you, and that is the reason why I love teaching. Programming, yeah, it's not entertaining. I cannot call it entertaining. It's okay. Maybe I'm just not good at it, but it doesn't give me that magic, because sometimes, for example, I am at home and then I receive a message from one of my students and they're like, thank you, I got the job, or thank you, I got the points, or thank you, I'm going abroad. That makes my day. It's like magic. It's like, I don't know how to explain this. So, do I enjoy teaching English? Yes. To me, it's not a job. To me, because I love learning. I love, for example, when I start doing something and I'm struggling, and after repetitively doing the same thing, and after a certain period of time, I get to a good level. That energy, I cannot exchange it with anything. But again, if you help somebody else get that feeling, I cannot exchange that. I don't think programming or being a computer engineer can ever give me this satisfaction. I think I cannot express myself with this coffee in my brain. Anyways, so yeah, will I do teaching in the future? Teaching supports me in all the ways, emotionally, financially, physically. Sometimes I meet people because I'm teaching, and I meet friends. I've met friends because I'm teaching, and I would say that socially. So teaching supports me in very many ways. Will I do it in the future? In the future, I might do it for different reasons. I might do it solely because I enjoy the satisfaction it gives me. I enjoy I can't express this. More coffee. Anyways, yeah. This was supposed to be a YouTube video, but I think I'm going to make it into an IGTV because I don't know. I don't like coffee, guys. Do you like coffee? Coffee ruined my video. I don't know if it ruined it or it made it better, but yeah, it's the end of my video. I hope it wasn't crazy for you to watch. I don't know. What do you do? What kind of jobs do you do? And do you derive satisfaction from the job that you do? Would you do the job that you do for free? And if you had a chance to do your childhood dream, would you give up the job that you're doing right now? These are the questions I would like to present to you. I would like to know what's going on with you. Talk to me. Thanks for listening. See you. Bye-bye. I'll continue drinking this coffee. I don't know, which kind of coffee do you drink? Maybe I bought horrible coffee because I've drank too much coffee and then the effect has gone, because when I was having breakfast, I drank coffee and now I'm drinking coffee again. I think this is too much. I should go back to water. I generally drink water. I shouldn't be sipping this. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. Have a great time and bye-bye. Take care.